Hello, and welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. Young Aussie rocker Cassidy Paris released her debut album, New Sensation, December 8th. Cassidy has a very bright future ahead of her, raised on classic hard rock and inspired by female rockers such as Lzzy Hale, Joan Jett, Pink, Pat Benatar, and Avril Lavigne. The fiercely determined young woman is on a mission to inspire a new generation of younger fans to not only listen to rock and roll, but pick up a guitar and instead of a phone, which I agree. At just 20 years old, Cassidy has released two sold out EPSs, Broken Hearted and Flirt, while having performed multiple live shows all over her home country of Australia, and has now unleashed her first solo record on the international markets via Frontiers Music. At the age of 11, Cassidy met singer-songwriter Paul Lane of Danger Danger and the Defiance, who's developed a unique mentoring role. Paul took Cassidy under his wing to help develop her as an artist and songwriter, collaborating with her in songwriting and producing her music. In 2018, she released the song Stand, a heartfelt song about standing up for yourself as a young woman. Cassidy continues to deliver that message, promoting anti-bullying through performances at many schools around Melbourne, Australia, and is an active campaigner for the worldwide Metalheads Against Bullying organization. Her talents have not gone unnoticed by one of the major guitar giants, Fender, lending their support by joining forces with Cassidy to bring her on an endorser of Fender Squier Giants. Cassidy has also joined the roster of Silverback Touring Agency. Cassidy has also been acknowledged as a semifinalist for her songwriting efforts in the International Songwriting Competition for Best Rock Song and Best Unsigned Artist. Please welcome singer, guitarist, songwriter, Australia's latest and hottest rocker chick, and daughter of the guitarist from Wicked Smile, Cassidy Paris, to Interviewing the Legends, and Tom, her guitarist. Welcome.
Hello. Cheers.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for having us on. We really appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome. Avril Lavigne, Pink, Joan Jett, they're all grown up now. We need a young rocker chick, don't we?
Yeah. I think it's about time. So no, it's super exciting, and it's great to have some people like yourself, and we've had a lot of support from the United States, so and a lot of people are on board with it, so it's great.
I've been on a Aussie thing lately. I've been chatting with a lot of Aussie performers recently.
Oh yeah.
Mainly prog rockers, Southern Empire, Caligula's Horse, Unitopia, Ben Craven, who's a friend of mine. I love music from Australia, especially the prog rockers, man. They're great.
Cool. Fantastic. That's great.
We're going to talk about your latest debut album, New Sensation. It's great. It's incredible. I love the single Danger. Your dad plays on the album. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's great to have him a part of the journey, and he's the one that got me into music, so it kind of feels a little bit like a full circle kind of situation with my dad. And it's good to be on tour with him as well, because I know that I'll always be safe and stuff with my dad. And obviously I've got Tom and his brother as well now, so it's great.
Tom, do you and her dad kind of trade licks back and forth on the new album? How's that work out?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of writing and messing around with guitar tones and amp testing, guitar testing. So yep, that's what weekends are for, right?
I'm gonna have to get your dad on the show as well, because it's a good band.
You should.
Yeah,
he'll definitely want to have a chat.
Oh yeah, for sure.
A lot going on with his band too. So
yeah. Awesome. Well, you start out with Danger, which is one of my favorite tunes. It sounds like a hit record. Danger sounds like a hit record. The official video is great. It's a very catchy tune. Should be all over the radio,
Thank you.
I was a top 40 DJ back in the late 70s, so I know what's a hit.
Fantastic.
The radio has changed a lot. Talk about Danger. Now, who wrote most of the songs on this album? Who are the songwriters?
Majority of it was written by myself. A lot of it was also co-written with Paul Lane. I know you mentioned before in the bio that I met Paul when I was 11, and kind of we we started out, and I kind of expressed an interest in songwriting to him, and he took me under his wing, and I was really grateful that he was able to do that for me, because I've learned so much from him, not only in like a songwriting perspective or a musician's perspective, but also like on a personal level as well. He knows the ins and outs of the industry, and he's taught me a lot in that way. But yeah, it's great to collaborate with other artists and learn so much from, you know, people that have been in the industry for so long. And I'll continue to do that, and I'll continue to work with Paul on whatever we do next as well. So it'll be great.
You described this album perfectly. You said, my music, 80s influence with a modern spin. That's it. Basically,
Yeah.
that's it. You know, and the 80s was a great time, you know, and a lot of people would like to see the 80s come back, sometimes even the 90s, but you said it right on, man. And I got to tell you what I said about the album.
Okay.
All right. New Sensation is an intoxicating debut album from Aussie rocker chick Cassidy Paris. By the way, I like that, Aussie rocker chick, right? That's cool, isn't it? Cassidy's incredible voice is backed by a professed musical lineup while producing a sound reminiscent to the days of Benatar and Jett. They definitely have enough talent to climb the ladder to fame. How's that? Does that sound all right?
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's really kind. And it's great to, like I said, to have people like yourself on board. And you know, there's a lot of women in this kind of new wave of like classic rock that's kind of up and coming at the moment. So that's really exciting for the new generation. And I think that I feel really lucky at this moment, because I've got like Tom, who just turned 22, and I turned 21, and his brother's 24. So it's all very young and fresh and exciting for us at the moment.
Man, I hate to hear that. I just turned 65 today.
65 young.
65 today.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Same birthday as Mozart and Nick Mason from Pink Floyd.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah. Well, RNR, which I guess stands for Rock and Roll Hearts, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it stands for? Very 80s rock feel. I want to say the guitar is awesome on the track, and also the drummer. Who's playing guitar on that track?
My dad's playing guitar.
Your dad, right?
Yeah.
He's an excellent guitar player. He really is.
He'll love to hear that. Yeah, I'll tell him that when I go
All
home
right.
tonight.
Tell him I'll be looking for him to
Yeah.
get him on the show.
Don't tell him too much, because his head will
Yeah.
go from there to like I both did that at the same time. He's a very, very much a modest person. We made him seem like he's not, but he's very modest. We promise.
Is he really? All right. Okay.
He is.
Well, wait till he sees the list of people I've interviewed. He'll really get a big head. Here I Am. Love that track. Oh man, that really showcases your vocal abilities, and in my opinion should be another hit on Top 40 radio. A very powerful track. Talk about that one.
Thank you. Yeah, Here I Am has been a real crowd favorite, and I know it's one of your favorites.
Yeah, it's such a fun one to play with the harmonies and stuff, and the whole energy of it. It's not like 100 miles an hour, so it gives the set a good break.
Exactly.
Yeah, I love playing it. It's awesome.
Are you taking this? When's your next tour? I know you've done some tours. What's next?
Well, we've got a hometown show in just under a week that we're really looking forward to in Melbourne.
Right.
And then that's the album launch show. Then we got Glam Fest a couple of weeks after in Melbourne as well. And then there's lots of planning for the UK again this year. Potentially some other places, Europe, but obviously we can't say too much just yet until stuff gets locked in and announced. But there's lots happening for sure.
Yeah, there's a heap coming up behind the scenes, so that's exciting for us. And you know, like, our thing is to try and get our name out there, and we know that that's via touring and you know, getting out to different places in the world. And we feel very lucky because as a band we've been able to tour the UK twice in 2 years. And obviously the UK is not by any means like a small trek from Australia. So it's cool to be able to get out there, and for people to consistently come out and support every night, and for rooms to be packed for a young band. That's just it's a really exciting time for us.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. Nothing's a small trek from Australia. You know?
Exactly. It was so funny because in the UK, there's so many places that are so close together, and you can drive, and like, you can do a tour in a van in the UK. In
Right.
Australia, like, unless you want to drive 24 hours to Queensland, like, you can't do that. And yeah, you're not really getting many places in Australia. There's like what, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
This is not hating on my own country, but yeah,
Well, it is what it is.
kind of, yeah, it is exactly. It is what it is.
You said in one interview that performing internationally has really blown my mind, being only 20. I guess you were 20 back then. Having been to many places around the world to do what I love is just crazy to me, and that you were blessed. And yeah, I can see that. I know it's expensive, but coming to the US has got to be a big plus, especially being young, rocker chick from Aussie. I mean, you got it all going. That'd be great.
Thank you. Yeah. It's been great. And like, I did a show in the US, I think it was in 2018, so it was a little while ago now, because obviously of the pandemic and everything. But we've definitely got plans to come out to the US very soon, and we're just sussing agencies and promoters and things like that. But that's definitely on the cards, because people have been asking for it. And if the people will come, then we'll come to them.
Exactly. What's been the greatest PR thing for you guys? I mean, it's not like the old days. Top 40 radio was incredible back in my day. That was the #1 avenue for promoting people. MTV was incredible. How do you guys get the word out? I know you got YouTube, but what else?
I think it's a combination of things. Like, for us, obviously, we only got signed at the beginning of last year in 2023. So the signing of us to Frontiers Records has been huge for us, because it's allowed us to expand in a way that you just can't sometimes. I mean, you can do it as an independent artist, but it's really, really tricky. And we just found that in the last year, the growth has been massive, because we've been able to get, find some contacts, and people have been able to see us live, festival promoters, and we've been able to jump in some slots that on festivals that were really like beneficial to us.
Right.
And that's the thing for us. It's all about like growing, and our social media presence is growing as well, which is exciting. And people are getting behind us with agencies. We just signed with a touring agency in the UK, EU, and Ireland, like maybe 3-4 days ago.
Yeah, so that's really fresh.
That's awesome. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. But yeah, like stuff like this as well really helps, like podcasts and interviews and stuff, because it's all like word of mouth is a big thing, and especially obviously the shows as well. If one, half the crowd at each show tells one other person, all of a sudden it starts growing at a massive rate and stuff. And it was great in the UK to see that people had come the year previous to see the band, and then this time you see, Mark, hey, I've seen you last year, and I brought my 2 mates with me, and then we'll see next time. And yeah, the stuff like this is awesome as well, because you'll tell people, and people, your fans will watch the podcasts and stuff, and it's just all spreading it word of mouth. Really is awesome.
Tom, are you from Australia as well?
No, I'm from Wales in the UK.
Yeah, I could tell. Your accent's totally different, man.
I know, yeah. I moved here just around 2 months ago.
Really?
Yeah. So
the big change.
And,
You're from Wales? Are you Welsh?
Yeah, I am. This is not what a Welsh accent sounds like.
No, it doesn't. You're almost kind of Liverpudlian, in a way, a little Cockney.
Yeah, no offense to Liverpudlians. They're used to it though. My accent's mixed of a bunch of different English accents, I think.
It's funny, because we've been doing interviews with the US for the last 48 hours. We've been doing back to back to back. Yeah. And funny to see who picks up on the accent. Some people don't say anything at all. Yeah. And then some people are like, you guys are not from the same place, and we can hear it.
It's obvious.
Yeah. That's the first person that's like asked you about it. I think you kind of have had to tell everyone else that you're not from the same place.
Yeah. So no,
I'm pretty good on accents, and I've talked to a lot of people from England, and
that's good. That's
with
good. That's
with Cockney accents as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Where did you guys meet? How did you get in the band? How did that start?
Well, we met on the first tour in 2022.
Right.
I played in another band called Mad Haven with my brother, who
Mhm.
plays the drum in this band as well. And we were playing some shows with Cassidy on her first tour.
Right.
A couple of festivals. We just kind of met there and clicked, and the whole sort of our ideas were the same and similar situations. So we came out to Australia then at the end of that year. Sort of met up. We played a gig here, and all the band came to watch and stuff, and caught up and whatnot. And then yeah, before the UK tour, November last year, yeah, we all sort of joined forces, and it was a good challenge because obviously we were learning the songs from the literal other side of the world over like online and stuff. The first time we actually played together was the day before the tour started. So yeah, they arrived in the UK on the Wednesday, all jet lagged, and then Thursday we had the first time rehearsing, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday we did shows, and the tour kicked off for a month from there. So it was
very
great,
cool.
good fun. Luckily, everything.
Are you just bandmates or just friends, or is there more to it?
Yeah.
Just friends, yeah.
Just friends.
Oh, okay. I had to ask. You know,
Yeah, we get that question a lot.
as a father of children and 5 grandkids, I had to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I think like for us as well is like in regards to like when we met, like there's
Right.
like chemistry on stage with like
Right.
Tom and his brother that we couldn't really pass up on, and they both felt it, and my dad and I felt it when we were on stage, and like from the first time we just kind of knew that it was going to work with the dynamics and stuff in the band.
Mhm.
And everyone's super close and super nice to each other, so it's, I mean, you'd hope, obviously, but it's great to tour with people that you enjoy being around, and I think that's a really important aspect of touring as well.
You guys have a manager in
We do have
producing?
management. Yeah. We have management, and we have obviously the record company. A lot of
Right.
our management and the record company is all like kind of interconnected as well.
Okay, cool.
But we are looking on the look for like some bigger management. We do have some people working behind the scenes for us, but it would be great to like expand a little bit. But things come with time and hard work. So we're working hard to kind of get to the next step.
Cassidy, would you open up for your dad on tour?
I have. I definitely
have?
Yeah. I've done many shows where we've opened up for his band, and he always laughs and he goes, "Soon you guys are going to be opening up.
I
We're
know.
going to be opening up for you guys."
That'd be great.
But no, the guys from Wicked Smile are really kind, and the singer from Wicked Smile I have well, Tom and I have a great relationship with.
Loveliest guy.
He is the sweetest guy going around, and he deserves all the success in the world, and so does my dad and the rest of them.
Yeah, they're a cool looking group too.
Yeah, they're cool.
They are cool. That's awesome. Walking on Fire and On the Bright Side, great rocker tunes. Love them both. Wanted to talk about Song for the Brokenhearted. Oh man, again with the 80s sound. Here's some of the lyrics. This is a song for the brokenhearted. This is a song for those who feel unwanted. This is a song for the brokenhearted. This is a song for those who feel unwanted. This is a song for the broken, for everything unspoken, for all the ones who have felt like they were thrown away. I love it. Love the lyrics. Did you write that?
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, we did. I think that was one of the tracks on it's probably like the oldest track that we've written on the album, apart from maybe Stand. That and Stand are probably like the songs that I had first written for the album, but I felt very like passionately about putting some of the stuff that I started out with on the record, because I know that a lot of the fans that have been there from the beginning have wanted to own a hard copy Cassidy Paris like CD for a very long time, and I think it would be a little bit wrong for me to not have that available to people, because our EPs sold out, both of them. So you can no longer get your hands on like a Flirt or Broken Hearted EP, but I guess people can get the record now, which is exciting.
It's a great album. I really like it.
Thank you.
Searching for a Hero. What a neat title. Yeah, and great intro. Love the intro, as a matter of fact. Talk about this one. Talk about Searching for a Hero.
It's funny you mentioned the intro, because the intro, like the little guitar licks weren't supposed to actually be there at the beginning, but I was listening to it and everything was finished and everything was produced and mixed. And then I listened to it and I was like, oh God, I'm getting an idea. And that's the thing as an artist, obviously, like you don't want to, I mean, I'm going to use this phrase, but it's probably not the most appropriate phrase to use, is breaking people's balls. You don't want to do that as an artist. And my dad constantly reminds me of that. And I was like, no, but I need to have this happen. And then I was like, just play this on your phone and like, you know, just play it over it and we'll record it and then we'll send it and we'll say, look, I know everything's done, but can we add this to the track? And they were really kind and they allowed me to add that to it. So I feel very happy that that made it to the record, because a lot of people compliment that aspect of the song. But yeah, it's like a very raw kind of authentic song, and it's kind of different to everything else on the record. When I speak about like the record in its entirety, I feel like it's such a mixed bag of things. Like it's got a bit of like, obviously it's got a lot of AOR sounding things, and then they've got like punkier sounding stuff, like you were saying, Avril Lavigne, and you know, there's some Joan Jett stuff on there. There's a bunch of different like inspirations thrown in there, but I think that's kind of what makes it ours, and that's what I'm excited about for our band, because it's different to what's out there right now.
I'm so glad you are a rocker chick, because, you know,
me too. You and me both.
People, and I say this all the time and people get mad at me, but I am not a Taylor Swift fan. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing that kind of...
I'm a massive Taylor Swift fan.
I'm tired of hearing that kind of music on the radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean. Yeah, for sure.
But...
And I think it's time.
It is time. You're right. You're 100% right. When my daughter was loving music, you know, she was into No Doubt, you know, growing up.
Cool.
You know, Joan Jett, of course. I don't know. Even Britney Spears was kind of cool. I like Britney Spears when she came out.
Yeah. She's got catchy songs, and you know, like I don't know what's happened to the industry in the way that, like, this is not any hate to any artists that have songs out there right now, but the mainstream stuff that is being played, you know, or the number ones, is like there's no hooks, there's nothing that's like immediately, like no big choruses, and I think that's what's missing from the mainstream, and people have kind of forgotten about, like, obviously bands like Paramore, right? They did things in a very different way, because they, like, you know, they had their like rock flavoring to everything, but they didn't, you know, market themselves as like a hard rock band. But if you listen to the tracks like Crush Crush Crush, or a bunch of other stuff on their earlier records, they're like hard rock songs. Like they've got punk elements to them, sure, but they're, you know, great choruses, great hooks. She sounds great on them, Hayley Williams. So that's kind of like, in a way, is like what we kind of want to emulate in a lot of ways, and, you know, put our own spin on things, and bring back that, you know, the hooks and the choruses, and the big choruses, for sure.
The great guitar players, the truly great players in a band, you know, it's good to have a band again.
That's what we were talking about before as well, is that there are a lot of solo artists that don't have bands these days, and it's like, it's not music, it's not live music if you don't have a band. But like you were saying, even No Doubt, how cool was No Doubt? How cool was Avril Lavigne? Like, where is that right now?
Avril Lavigne, she was
very
a punk
biased.
girl.
I think that's up.
She was cool, you know. You'll probably end up like her as you get famous.
I hope so.
I'm going to see the transformation, you know.
Yeah, true.
You'll be riding on a skateboard here pretty soon, or maybe catching a wave.
For the life of me. I can play the guitar, but I'm not riding on a skateboard anytime soon.
I can fall off a skateboard, great. But no,
how about surfing? Surfing?
I'd love to learn to surf.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to learn to surf. Like, ideally, in my mind, I am the surfer girl, but when you you know, when it comes to the crux of it, I'm not. I wouldn't be able to get up on a wave. No way.
You guys got those big white sharks over there. God, those great white sharks.
Yeah.
We're getting them now too. They're scary.
My dad is Deadly
Love swimming in the sea.
afraid. Yeah,
Really?
loves the sea. That's the most sarcastic thing he's ever said in his life. My dad won't go past a certain point in the water. He's gonna kill me.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, he thinks he's gonna get eaten. And to be fair, to his credit, the other day on TikTok, he comes downstairs with his TikTok because I've been trying to get him into TikTok and all this like new social media stuff. And he goes, "Look at this shark come up to the surface." And mind you, it came up like close, like I'm talking, to the where your ankles are. It was very, very close.
Yeah.
I'm not I promise I'm not over exaggerating. You're laughing at me, but
it's true. They do that here too.
Any water there.
Yeah, it's true.
My cousin, she lives here now. She's originally from Baltimore. She loves to swim and she goes way out. And I tell her, one day you're going to get eaten. She says, I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. If I go out that way, it's okay.
Yeah, I think your brother would have that mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going to play the drums then?
Yeah,
If he gets
exactly.
He's going to play the drums, right?
Very
That's
true.
funny. Well, some other tracks, Stan, another great track, Addicted. That's a very catchy tune. I love that song.
Yeah. It's a fun one to play as well.
Yeah.
It's funny because obviously, not obviously, but the boys came into the band kind of after the record was finished, and that was something that it was great that they joined the band, but we were like, oh, the record's already finished. So they're going to be very heavily involved in the production of whatever we do next, whether that be a record or an EP or a single. There is a lot to come as well for this year. But I played Alex, or we were playing it in the rehearsal studio, and we were playing Addicted, and he goes, it just gives me like this no doubt feel for this song. And I was like, I completely agree with that. That's exactly bang on what we were trying to go for there. And I think that song will translate well to a younger audience.
It's quite different as well from the other ones as well. That's a thing we were talking about the other day. So there's quite a few different flavors on the album. So kind of gives people a bit of a taste of a few different kind of styles.
It's short, to the point, and powerful.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the short songs.
Midnight Desire, you finished that one. That's also one of my favorites.
That's my favorite one.
Is that Midnight Desire?
Yeah.
So what got you into the 80s, the feel of the 80s? Was it your dad or just,
Yeah. Well, I think, I definitely owe my dad for that. But believe it or not, like my mum's not into, she's not a musician by any means. Like she cannot hold pitch for anything, but she no thanks to her. She does a lot of other great things, and she's a fantastic teacher, and that's what she does. But
is she a teacher?
Yeah, she's a teacher. Yeah.
My daughter's a teacher, my son-in-law's a teacher, my sister-in-law's a teacher.
Everyone's teachers. Yeah, that's fantastic. I love to hear that people are teaching. That's great. Yeah, my mum definitely was, instrumental in my love for the 80s as well. She loved Bon Jovi and things like Kiss and AC/DC and like a bunch of bands. Poison, she was a huge Poison fan. So I think that she definitely played a role in that as well, because she cultured me in that way. And I always call her a groupie. She hates it. Because she has this husband that travels for a living and stuff like that in bands, and then she has this daughter that also does that.
Oh no, not again.
Yeah, exactly. I can't believe it after I loved Poison all these years. But I think you were kind of similar in some way.
My parents always my parents have always been into like rock music, and AC/DC's been a big influence and stuff. Obviously, I was saying this the other day in another interview, like not just for the music, but for the show as well. And they present themselves, and it's not like you hear people saying they don't just want to see the neighbors from down the road on the stage. Like people pay for a ticket, then you've got to give them a show. And like AC/DC are definitely inspirational for that. Like all the different characters almost that each band member plays, and you got Malcolm holding down the fort at the back, gluing everything together, while you've got Angus and Brian running around. It's
Mhm.
inspirational. Yeah. It's
Angus
good.
is such a great guitar player, you know?
Oh yeah, and Malcolm.
Yeah.
Don't forget Malcolm. He's just as good as one another for different reasons. But yeah.
Brian's got
Well,
a house here. I'm in the Bradenton, Sarasota area.
okay, yeah.
He's about 20 minutes from me.
Oh really?
Brian Johnson, yeah. Big into cars. He's got, he races cars and got some
Yeah.
great cars. Yeah. Nice guy, they say. He shows up in pubs, goes get up on stage and starts singing. Of course, the whole band are very short.
Yeah.
Very little guys.
No.
You are a fan, Ronnie James Dio. I
Yeah.
heard big time. I just interviewed Wendy, his wife, recently.
Did you?
Yeah, twice. I've had her on the show twice. She's so nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
very
Yeah. There's a really good bio out right now. That's what we were talking about Ronnie James Dio.
cool. Mm-hmm.
It's on Netflix if you want to look for it.
Netflix.
yeah, is
Okay.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
We're gonna look that
Yeah.
up, definitely.
And go ahead. What are you gonna say?
No, you go for it. You go for it.
Okay. I love your metalheads against bullying. Okay. We've all been bullied at one time. Okay. When I was in high school, I had really long hair and I belonged to that crowd. And there was another crowd that carried switchblades, slicked their hair back and looked for trouble. And they didn't like us. So that happened a lot. So, and we've got a friend that from her old neighborhood, her daughter actually got pushed down a stairway in school because she was bullied and she had several operations on her back. So, I mean, I get so, if that ever happened to my grandkids, I don't know what's going to happen. I'll go down there and beat the crap out of them. I'm telling you.
Exactly right. And that's the thing. It's like I actually, and Tom and I often like have conversations about this, is that like we're very much championing. We're very big on championing. If I can actually,
that's a hard word to say.
Yeah, when you've done a couple of interviews, it just can't articulate anything after that. Individuality and celebrating uniqueness and things like that. And we just can't understand how people, give others a hard time. It's like, if you don't want to, associate with someone, just move on and move forward. And you don't need to be a keyboard warrior. Even in the industry, there's so many of those.
Yeah.
But like in my high school, for instance, like you were saying, there's all these different like little cliques, right? And I didn't really have a clique. It was kind of just me, and I was okay with that. And I kind of, because I was into this style of music, no one really understood it. And it was the theater kids though that were giving me a hard time, which, typically in a high school movie, that's not really, the theater kids are kind of the ones that embrace you. In my high school, they were, I'm not going to swear, but complete biatches, basically. Which is basically swearing anyway. So I apologize for that. But
that's all right.
Yeah.
You can say what you want on this show.
Fantastic. That's great. That's what I like about certain rock shows.
It is rock and roll,
Exactly, definitely. And yeah, they just couldn't digest the idea that I had a different outlook on music to them, and they would hassle me for management putting up posters and putting out music videos and things like that. And but I just decided to how can I make this situation that at the moment is negative into a positive, and share this online and actually help people that have had a hard time with it. And that's the way I chose to do it. And Metalheads Against Bullying were very instrumental in allowing me to do that online as well.
What'd your mom and dad say when you got bullied? Did they go to school or did they do anything?
My mum is probably one of the most headstrong people I've met in my life. Right. And she tore the school a new one when she
teacher.
heard about this. Yeah. But my school and I will never mention their name, but as much as I want to, They were absolutely terrible with dealing with the situation, and they did not deal with it well at all. And, you know, obviously if you ask a child if they've done something, are they going to say yes? You know, sometimes they're not going to own up to their
Right.
what they've actually done. And then they were like, but this person said it must be your child lying. It's like, no one else has said it. It's crazy to me that a school can allow that to happen. And you know, I actually it's very funny because I went to a music-based school as well. My parents decided to send me to this school purely because it was a music-based school.
Right.
And they were like, this is, you know, where she's going to fit in, and, you know, she's going to get you know, a little bit more of an education on music. That's great. And then when I got there, it was anything but. It was very much sport, you know, based on sport, and everything was about the athletes. And they literally said, we had a conversation with them because I was supposed to go to the UK at the end of 2020, which obviously didn't happen for obvious reasons. COVID, but and I said, oh, look, we're going to be touring and stuff, and they said we make exceptions for athletes and not musicians. And I said, this is bullshit. What the heck, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And it's that story that they, you know, they don't want to support things like that, but they're happy to support what is convenient to them. So I think they have no idea how to deal with it, and I hope they're getting better at that.
Well, you're going to get the last laugh when you're on Billboard's top 10 list, you know, for top best song of the year. That's how you get even, you know.
Yeah,
when they see you on TV everywhere.
I said to an interviewer the other day, as much as, like, you know, all of that was really bad when I was going through it, I think once you kind of see a little bit of success and you see yourself climbing the ladder, you kind of, once you get to that point of fame and you know, success, you don't even think about those people anymore because there's so much better to worry about. And I already feel like that as well. Like, people are like, you know, it's a jealousy thing, and
it's a jealousy thing, right?
Yeah, and I agree. It totally would have been, but it's definitely cool to, you know, have put out a debut record on a record label. Like, that's definitely a big milestone.
Oh yeah.
Now, so, yeah.
You know, I mentioned Taylor Swift. I forgot you did take a picture with Taylor Swift, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I saw that. Unrated Magazine, I think. It was December 27th or somewhere in 2020. Was it 2020? You're little, right? You're
Yeah.
Okay.
I was maybe 9 or 10 when I met Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
So it was a while back.
Sorry about that.
But no. It's funny because I'm not a huge, you know, everyone, I don't think there's going to be many Taylor Swift lovers on here, so I'm not offending anyone here. But yeah, I don't really love her new stuff, but we were listening to some of her old stuff, and we were like, this is marketed.
It's rock stuff.
It's rock stuff, but it's marketed in the way of being pop. So, you know, like, it's funny, even with the stuff we put out, people are like, oh, this is too mainstream for me, and it's like, it's hard rock.
Well,
it's not mainstream.
Well,
it can be mainstream if they put it on the radio.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
We were just saying about this before. We were talking about Taylor Swift and stuff, and even for like rock fans that maybe aren't a fan of Taylor Swift, the thing you can't deny that she does really well is that she's singing live, she's playing guitar live, there's a real band, and young people are into it. So she's getting young people to notice that actually real bands and real music is cool.
You're not the first one who said that to me.
Yeah, but it's good because they're actually keeping bringing even maybe it's not rock or whatever, but it's a band, so
you're right.
And it's not like somebody stood behind a computer pressing a space bar or someone miming along to backing tracks or something. So it's great that obviously kids and people that are watching Taylor Swift will actually grow up with real music. Like,
I hope it influences them
like that. So
like Cassidy is doing, get rid of the phone, man. You know, and not only that, the phone is such a great weapon for kids because they can look up anything. They've got, you know, they don't use it that way though. They're
Yeah.
basically texting each
Yeah.
other, you know?
Exactly. And it's so, and I said yesterday, I sound like I'm 60 saying all this about phones and social media. And, you know, no one's going to agree with me. They're going to be like, well, I see you post like 3 times a day, which is also true. Like social media is very like instrumental in like a musician's career these days. But,
Right.
you know, you need to know when you have to step away from the phone and
Right.
actually like, you know, engage with people in real life. Like Tom and I always like, we like to have a look at like which couples at the table are just like sitting looking at their phones and not actually talking to each other. I just think
like
it's
this beep, 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 and it's
yeah,
like,
so strange. So
It is.
strange.
I never got into the phone thing, you know. I mean, I could have a flip phone now. I wouldn't care, you know.
Yeah,
I
that's
I
good.
like computers though. I do love computers.
I mean, they're so useful for certain things, but yeah, it can be overused for sure. Like capturing moments at gigs or funny stuff or behind the scenes stuff, just capture it on your phone and get it up online. And yeah, it's great, but sort of once you've done that sort of thing, there's no point having your head in it all day or
Yeah.
even sound real
for sure.
life stuff. But yeah,
I
we
cover a
sound-
lot of concerts, and all you see are phones taking video.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. People paid to watch a gig and they're there watching it.
And they're watching it through a phone.
Watch it at home.
And then they post it on YouTube, and it's crap. You know, it makes
Yeah.
you
Or
know.
you know, people at the front, and there's like you know, people are going crazy and getting pushed about. Everyone's enjoying it, and you see people filming it, but their phone's like, wow,
I know. Come
it's gonna
on.
be a crap video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just-
That's got to
Yeah.
stop. You know,
yeah,
they
I mean,
should
fair
say
enough,
you can't bring your phone to a concert, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I always like to take a little video so you remember like the gig and stuff, like a little clip. But you know, once you're done, get it in your pocket and enjoy the gig. Like don't film the whole thing.
Yeah. There's no point of being there. You know, you're looking through your phone and
Yeah,
That's right.
has to be like I was saying yesterday, like if I go to a gig, not only are you watching the band and watching how that's going down, but like I like to watch all the people and see like their reactions and the crowd and
what's the band doing that's making the crowd get wilder and stuff like that.
exactly like that. Yeah.
So how
It's
can
like
we
a learning experience, especially for like musicians like us.
like
that,
every part of it as well.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, definitely. For
it's
sure.
great.
Yeah, and I went to a
I took my son to a Godsmack show,
Cool. That's
and they're
so
getting
cool.
old now. Some of those guys are close to being my age, you know, but they still had the mosh pit, and they were still doing it. You know,
Exactly right.
that was
Yeah,
interesting.
just doing it the right way.
Stay
Exactly.
away from the phone. Just beat the hell out of
each other, you know.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, they were good though. They were good in concert. They were really good in concert.
Sure.
They had like 7 bands, but half of them weren't very
Can
good.
imagine.
You know what the mistake is? Some of these bands think volume is everything, and they have the volume up so loud you can't hear any of the instruments.
Just
What's the
mush,
point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably
Exactly.
suck in real life, and they just kind of turn it up. You know, just all you hear is like a humming. You know, from
Because it's so
Yeah,
so
yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's terrible. I always tell people, if you get a guitar player, like an acoustic player, up on stage, and he has a great story and a song, you know, and he's playing his guitar without a band, that's talent, you know, in front of an audience like that.
And I mean, to jump into the obviously like the mainstream things as well, as well. Like we were talking about Ed Sheeran before, and like as much as like he's very mainstream and
Right.
like he's there with his loop pedal and his guitar and he loops the entire thing and he plays a show by himself. That's like
Right.
a lot of talent, and that's what I
One
think
guy.
one guy, and a lot of people in the rock scene should at least be able to sit there and commend him for what he does, because
Oh, sure.
you know,
I agree with you 100%.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, like we're very much into the rock scene, and like you were saying, Ronnie James Dio and stuff. Even though like acts like that, like Dio sounds nothing like our stuff, obviously. But like Tom was saying before, I've learned a lot from Ronnie James Dio because I watched videos with my dad growing up about how he moved on stage, and my dad would kind of explain to me like, this is cool how he does this, and you know, one of the best frontmen in the industry ever. That's how, you know, young artists and even like female artists like myself can learn from a male that, you know, dominated the industry for a very long time, and continues, like his legacy still lives on today.
I got to tell you, when you go on YouTube and you see women playing guitars, they're incredible. I can't believe all of a sudden they're all virtuosos. They pick up an electric guitar and they're playing Hendrix. You know what happened?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, definitely.
Women guitar players have really, come into their own all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, exactly. And even like you've got people like your Lita Fords and
Right.
Even like Anita Strauss. She does a great job
Yeah.
at like being a fantastic front woman in Alice Cooper, and I know she's done some mainstream stuff
She's
as well.
amazing.
So
Yeah.
just shows how you can, be so versatile. And rock music is, it can be versatile, rock music. And I think that's something that people probably fail to understand a little bit in this genre.
I agree. I've had Lita on a couple of times. She's
Oh,
fun.
yeah?
She's my age, so all the
Cool.
Runaways were my age. Joan.
Yeah.
I know Joan Jett's people, the manager, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to cover Joan Jett with Alanis Morissette
Coming up here in Tampa pretty soon.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's very cool.
that should be an
Awesome.
interesting.
Interesting show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Joan. She's from my home state as well, Maryland. She's from Maryland.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. There's been a couple of movies and stuff. I think there was the Runaways movie not long ago as well. I watched that. I think Kristen Stewart, I could be wrong, portrayed Joan Jett. I thought she did a pretty good job.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good. I
Yeah.
know Cherie too, Cherie Curry. Also.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Macedonia. That's your background? That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really different, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm half Macedonian, so my dad's Macedonian, hence the last name Janevski, which is not kind of as publicized as it is for my dad. My dad goes by Steve Janevski, and then I go by Cassidy Paris, which Paris is middle name.
Your middle name,
It is still my birth name. But then it confuses people, and they're like, "What did you take your mum's name, or like is that just your stage name?" And they ask me a lot of questions about that. But yeah, so its full name is Cassidy Paris Janevski. It's actually pronounced Janevski, but I don't really say that much. But if we're talking about Macedonian descent, so yeah. And then my mum is actually Hungarian. So I'm kind of a bit of a mixture in that way.
We all are.
Yeah.
How about you, Tom?
Yeah, well, my background's Polish. So my granddad was Polish. Yeah, my surname's ROGOWSKI. So we've got
okay.
the on the end there.
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe a little Scottish, Irish in your background. No, because of the red hair.
No, surprisingly not. But yeah. So there's Wales, England, and Poland.
The Welsh are so cool. We had a good friend from Wales. He just passed away. But just I don't remember. But he was very rich. He owned a lot of land in Wales.
Yeah.
I don't remember what part, but he the language, the Welsh language and the writing is so interesting and so separated from the rest of England. They're like a separate country, basically.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And it's such a nice part of the world as well, with all the mountain ranges and the lakes and the wildlife and stuff. But obviously, it's freezing.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it really?
A heat wave is 25.
Oh, interesting.
25 degrees Celsius. So you got the news going. Drink loads of water. Stay at home. Yeah.
I find that funny in Australia when
that's a day for hoodies here.
Does it ever get cold in Australia?
It does. In Melbourne, it gets really cold, actually.
Really?
I mean, really cold.
Degrees.
Like, no, no, it gets colder. It probably gets down to about 7 or 8 degrees.
That's more.
Really?
Yeah, 7 or 8 degrees Celsius, by the way. We don't go by
Oh, that's right.
Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I know at home in North Wales at the moment it's about -4, -6 some days.
Celsius, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been snowing and everything. So
yeah, and that's not what Melbourne is. I was saying earlier today in another interview that I never saw snow up until the first time I went to the UK and EU, because my parents are like allergic to the cold, and they don't like it at all. Hence why they live in
They're
Australia.
allergic.
I never heard that before.
Yeah, they're allergic to it. My dad is genuinely allergic to it. Like on
Wow.
tour, so funny. He'll like wear his like beanie, and then he'll wear his scarf and like put it around his
That's
nose, and
funny.
wear his sunglasses, and he's got 50 different layers on, and they're all
Yeah,
flipped up.
we walk into the coffee shop, they think they're about to get held up.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
That is
If
so
you
funny.
pushed him over, he wouldn't feel the fall because he's got that many layers
Without a
on.
doubt.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, I never saw snow and stuff until or even like, you know, a lot of places are like very icy and stuff. I went to Switzerland not too long ago, and that place was icy as I was like, I'm gonna slip and fall, and it's not gonna be good.
No, not at all. Yeah, I could take Australia because it's always hot here too. You know, it doesn't get hardly gets cold here. And you know, usually in the summertime we've got it up to 100 degrees, a little over 100 degrees.
Wow.
A lot
Yeah,
of
see that's
humidity.
still pretty warm. Hey.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I love it. I love it warm. You know.
Yeah. My
I'm-
dad's very much the same, and so is my mum. And but we loved Florida. We went to Florida for vacation. My parents love the United States in general. And we went to Florida for vacation in maybe 2016 or
Did
sorry,
you go to
20
Disney? Disney?
Did we
Of
go to
course.
Disney?
You come here, you
We
gotta go to
went to Disney. Yeah. We did, how many theme parks did we do? I think how many Disney theme parks are there in
Disney?
Florida?
Oh,
Yeah.
you got Universal.
We did Universal Studios, yeah, and we did the Jaws thing, which was great.
Right. Magic
what else did
Kingdom.
we do? I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, and
Oh,
we did
yeah.
Harry Potter World at Universal Studios.
That's cool.
So I said,
Yeah.
when we tour the US, we are
Mhm.
booking a day off, and we're going to Harry Potter World.
UK. Was it US?
US, yeah.
Oh, right.
US has Harry Potter World, yeah.
I haven't
Wow.
seen it yet. I
Ah.
haven't seen Harry Potter World yet. My daughter has. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you hadn't seen Harry Potter, and I was
Oh,
beginning.
no. Yeah, I haven't seen the theme park.
Oh,
Yeah. It's fantastic. He does not watch Harry Potter, and
Yeah.
you know, I have to really have a thorough think about, you know, his position in the band after that. I always remind him, like,
Hey, you gotta watch it.
Really
That'll
gotta
get you
watch
kicked
it.
out.
yeah.
They're
No,
very
I get it.
serious about their Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, no, it's been really cool, and we've been able to see some really cool parts of the UK in the last 2 years, and I know we're coming to the States soon, which will be great. And
Good.
yeah, it's all
Well, we're
happening
looking
here.
forward to that. If you come to Florida, you gotta give me a ring.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Let me
sure.
know. I'll
Yeah,
cover
for
the
sure.
show. I'll cover the show
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, we will
100%.
do that for sure, definitely. Yeah,
I've got a
sounds like-
photographer.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah.
You guys
I used
have
to
some-
cover a lot of shows, but not as many because with Zoom interviews, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just covered Fall Cat about a week ago, and did
Oh,
a
cool.
review on that. So yeah, I'll do it again, and I'm going to probably cover Joan Jett.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, let us know when well, we'll let you know when we go
Okay.
to the States, and we'll pop
Definitely.
in for a catch up, and it'll probably be with my dad when we go to the States as well.
Awesome. Incredible.
Which will be fantastic. I think we stayed last time when we went to Florida at the Hard Rock Cafe Hotel.
Okay,
how do
where? Which one?
There's two.
Well,
Orlando?
there's three. Orlando? Okay.
Yeah.
There's one in Tampa, Orlando, and in Hollywood. There's three.
The one right near Universal Studios.
Yeah, Orlando. Yep.
Yeah.
That's only an hour and a half from me.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
really? Wow.
Fantastic. Ideally, I'd love to stay there again if we ever tour. But
It's
you know,
cool, isn't it? I've stayed there.
financially, that's probably not the the best touring option. Hey, but
Yeah, we'll be able to eat on that.
Yeah.
Be cool to
No.
play at the Hard Rock. You could play the
Yeah.
Hard Rock.
You know?
yeah,
We could stay
exactly.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
definitely.
can definitely play there. And also
The oh, what's the other one? Gosh, I'm not thinking now. So
it's kind of a bluesy name. That it'll come back to me. That's what happens when you turn 65.
It's just a number.
It's just a number, right? Yeah.
Inside, I'm still 18.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the main thing.
That's the
Yeah.
main thing. You know, one of your next videos, you know, you got to get one of the guys from AC/DC because he's also from Australia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or you can get Paul Hogan.
Yeah, yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? Get Crocodile
It
Dundee.
would- Yeah. But you know,
He's
the
like-
Crocodile Dundee, there was a big like uproar in Australia about that guy actually.
Not
Yeah.
paying taxes or something like that, right? Was that it? No.
I can't even remember exactly what it is, but there's something that's a little bit sketchy about him.
They turned
like-
against him in Australia, which I was
Yeah,
surprised.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. I'll have to look it up exactly.
Yeah,
what
I
happened.
was shocked.
I can't remember. I don't remember enough to actually speak on it, so I'm gonna keep my
We
mouth
still
shut.
love him here. You know.
Yeah. It's funny because my producer, who's from Canada, every single time he comes to Australia, he was like, Stevie, Crocodile Dundee. Like he loves it, and he's like, "Where's Skippy?"
I know. I gotta
Yeah.
ask you, do you really see kangaroos running around? I mean, that
Yes.
you do.
Where we are now, literally 2-minute walk up here. About after 6 o'clock at night, you've got to be careful because they just decide to hop across the road, and
Yeah.
your car's toast if you hit one of them.
Yeah.
Can you go up to them and
No.
you know say hello?
No.
I
No,
wouldn't recommend it. Yeah, you can go up to the ones at like the zoo because they're trained.
right.
These guys
But
will beat you.
yeah, these ones they're huge and
They're massive.
they're actually considered pests in Australia because there's so many of them. And you know, I see where I live, it's very close to this place called the Gorge, and
Right.
the Gorge is full of kangaroos. I tried to show them the other day.
Yeah,
It was
we
like
got-
literally 2.
Yeah, there was 2. We went
But
to see them.
I've showed you videos before. There were
Yeah.
like there's like 50 at a time just
Wow.
hopping all together.
It's cool seeing them hopping about. Like,
Yeah.
It is very cool. But then like tourists, I saw some tourists walking the other day when I was on my walk, and they were like, "Oh, it's so cute." These
Yeah.
European tourists. I was like, "Please don't go any further because you're actually going to get boxed out because they box. They use their little
and when they stand up, they're taller than you. Easily.
yeah, they're huge
They're-
and like chunky things
Yeah,
as
they're
well.
muscly ass.
Yeah.
They'll
Well-
kick you too, right? They go back on their
Yeah.
tail and
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've seen some videos of them like trying to attack a dog or whatever, and dogs got no hope. Like it's
Yeah.
they're beasts. Well,
Especially if like, you know, they have like a joey with them as well in their couch.
yeah.
Forget about it. Don't go anywhere near that kangaroo. Yeah.
I've seen
this
people try to
is a
box
very
them.
negative thing. I'm speaking about Australia in such a negative way today.
not
But just be careful with the kangaroos. They can be vicious.
vicious for sure. Yeah, not so Australian, but there's a load of there's a big like rabbit problem here as well. They're considered pests as well. There's like
Really?
I'm driving home when it's dark, and I maybe drive past like 20 rabbits, and every night I'm like, please don't run in front of the car. I don't want to run you over, but they run into the lights, and it's like, nah, too close. I can't do it. If I ran over a rabbit, I couldn't forgive myself.
Yeah.
No
I
good.
know. I know. We've got pythons moving up from the Everglades and coming up this way now. We got a lot of them. It's a big python problem in the Everglades. We got hunters down there trying to kill them.
I'm not going to Florida.
They're huge. They're huge. And we've got coyotes, a lot of coyotes now.
Oh.
Alligators everywhere, you know.
Yeah, that's
But they don't
interesting.
bother you. If you don't bother them, they don't bother you, the alligators.
Oh, that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah. Today I was watching this TikTok, and a coyote attacked a dog in a backyard,
Mm-hmm.
and the cat saved the dog, and the other dog ran inside. It was a really like happy feel good video in the end because obviously the cat saved the dog from the coyote.
Right.
But that's what my name is going to be pinned to now. Cassidy talks about animals.
Slow morning this morning.
Yeah.
So much for keeping your head out of your phone.
Exactly. Exactly.
In between interviews, you can't really do much in between, like
Uh,
15 minutes in between,
Oh,
20
forgive
minutes in
you.
between. Yeah, exactly.
We had a Florida panther that was, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 minutes from my house here. You know, there's only about 200 of them
Panther.
left in this area, but they're coming back. You know, they're like mountain lions, you know. But then
Interesting.
again, if you don't bother them, they don't bother you. That's what they say.
So mountain lions are like scary as though they're vicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
okay.
big.
Yeah. Okay.
And you know, Orlando, Disney World, they've had bears. They've had bears in Disney World.
Ask about bears. Yeah. That scares me. Scares the crap out of me. Bears. I can't. If I ever saw a bear, I think I'd actually die right before I'd actually get killed by the bear.
Yeah, but you guys got a lot of poisonous stuff, right? The poisonous snakes and spiders and all that, right?
Well, that's the thing I don't mind about bears. You've not got to run faster than the bear. You've got to run faster than the slowest person in your group.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Well, tell the story about the spider on your leg.
Oh, God. I always hear people saying about Australia, oh, I'm not going there because of the spiders.
Right.
I've been there a few times now. I've never seen anything bigger than the Homer. I thought, yeah, that's obviously if you go right out in the sticks and it's not a thing. Well, that's what I thought. We bought this car a couple of weeks ago. It's been sat for a while. I'm there driving along in my shorts, got 10 Ks to go on the journey.
So Australian.
And I just feel a little thing just brush past my leg while I'm driving. I thought, it must be some fabric maybe that's fallen down from under the steering rack or whatever. So I'm going along, and then and you have that thought that goes, what's the worst thing this could be? And I go, nah, it won't be that. So I'm there looking down, there's nothing there. I'm trying to drive, I look down and go, oh shit. And it was a huntsman spider about this big. Wow. Hairy guy. Horrible.
Send me that video, and I've booked my flights to go, overseas and stay there until, stay there indefinitely now. So
Not staying there much longer, but it was blooming surreal. I had 10 Ks to go. There was nowhere to pull over, so I was like, right, you're my driving buddy for the rest of this journey.
Really? Is that right? You didn't brush them off or anything, huh?
Nah. I would have questioned the poll. So if anyone's listening and thinks that this guy's a lunatic because he drove 10 Ks with that on his leg, the answer is yes.
It wasn't on my leg. It brushed past my leg, and it was on the floor right next to my feet. So I was driving
it's still there
with my feet right on top of the pedals. I was on my own in the car, and I was just like, just stay there. And I was going to buy this guitar amp from this guy anyway. He must have thought, what the hell's wrong with this guy? As soon as I parked outside of his house, shut out the door, I'm shaking this bloody mat outside the bloody driveway. He must have been looking out the window going, what on earth? But I actually took a picture of the spider, and it was missing a leg.
Oh, really?
I tell my brother when I get back, he says, oh, I shook the floor mat out yesterday and I found a spider's leg, but I forgot to mention it.
Oh, really?
He'd obviously been squashed in where the fuses are in the car and the steering rack, and it just come down. So he must have been pissed as.
Probably.
Oh,
and then you got the video of it just running away
towards this guy's house. So he probably had a loving visit from him.
Good thing he didn't go up your trousers. That's happened.
Oh yeah. Well, I had all these thoughts while I'm driving, and I was just like, nope, just go.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would have been in the emergency lane or in someone's, the side of their car.
In the back of someone's car.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Cassidy
Paris got bit by a spider today. More on that later.
Exactly.
She ran her car into a pole.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be terrible.
Okay, guys, here's your final question. I ask everybody this question. I get some really interesting answers. Okay.
Here we go.
My favorite movie is Field of Dreams. I don't know if you know that movie or not. Kevin Costner, baseball movie.
I've never seen it.
If you had this is a Field of Dreams wish. There was a wish in the movie, it came true. But if you had a Field of Dreams wish to perform with, collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
So this is perform with someone.
Collaborate with anyone.
That's
so tricky, isn't it?
Play guitar with? Play guitar with?
Right, like Angus Young or something.
Yeah, I suppose it would.
You think?
Yeah.
Angus Young?
Yeah, Angus Young. Yeah, I mean, obviously, if Malcolm was alive, then I'd probably put them the two together because they're the two
Good answer. I don't
main.
get Angus Young very much for some
Pardon?
reason. I don't get it. I don't get hit an answer about Agnes Young very much for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't pick between two. I'm
That's okay.
Eric Romwell fan
yeah.
from Skid Row, and he's done Heat and he's done his solo stuff, and he's like, I say this in every interview, but he's like my male pinup, Eric Romwell. He's my favorite artist like ever probably, and I love Lzzy Hale as well, so be between those two. So if they ever hear of Cassidy Paris, give me a buzz.
Yeah, why not? It happens all the time.
Yeah, well, exactly right.
I've actually put artists together, and they've actually done things together on albums. So
that's cool.
I got a lot of contacts. Let me know who you want to talk to.
Get Eric Romwell, Lzzy Hale into your studio, and just
you want Lita Ford on an album? Lita Ford, maybe.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll work on that.
Let her know.
Yeah.
Well, if I run into Brian Johnson here in around
do
here
that
in
as well.
Sarasota,
Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
tell him about you, Tom.
Yeah.
I'll tell him you want to join the band. No.
Yeah.
No, you want to stay with Cassidy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
both, right? You can do both.
I know.
No problem.
Yeah.
I want to say very special thanks to Dustin Hardman, Press Promotions, for arranging this interview with Cassidy and Tom. I've known Dustin now for a very long time. He brings me all the legends. He's a great guy. You can purchase New Sensation by Cassidy Paris. I guess you can go, where's the best place to go? On your website, maybe?
Website or via Frontiers Music, our record
Frontier
labels.
Music, okay.
Yeah.
Cassidy's www.CassidyParis.com. And you're on Facebook, you're on Spotify, you're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, TikTok, of course. I also want to do a shout out to Wicked Smile, because www.wickedsmileband.com/home, I guess. It's your dad's band. Great band. We're gonna get him on the show for sure.
Yeah. Give us a message or an email, and then we'll tee it up. Yeah, we'll tee it up.
Okay. Or I'll go right to his website. I'm sure he's got information on his website.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah, for sure.
Then I can really find out all the secrets about Cassidy.
Exactly. If you want to know, I've got some. I'm sure he's got some very interesting, baby Cassidy stories up here. Like I drew on his guitar when I was younger, and it was really expensive. Oh yeah,
you drew on his guitar with what? A marker?
Cabinet marker.
Oh.
Yeah. Like maybe 16 months old or something.
Right.
16 months old. I had a bit more of a perception of how much things cost back then when I was 16. But yeah, it's definitely he'll have some things up his sleeve for sure.
Does he still have that guitar?
Oh, I think maybe he sold that one.
Yeah, he sold that one.
But not with the permanent market.
That would have been a good souvenir. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely sit down with him.
Yeah. Tom, how many guitars do you have?
14.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know. Depends who you ask. But some of those are acoustic, some are bass. I'd say there's room for a couple more. I've only got one in Australia, so
wow.
I've got to get some more over here. I've got this awesome Stratocaster at home. It's like the first guitar I ever picked up, like when I was about 8 or something. And then I played it for like a few months, or I say played it, did that.
Right.
And then I saw the guy whose guitar it was maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, just in conversation, he's still got the guitar, and I ended up getting it off him and like played it for the first time again. It was like, wow, this is the actual first guitar I ever picked up. And,
well, Fender let you a really cool bass for the album launch.
Awesome P bass, like this Silver Burst bass. I'm playing bass for the next 2 shows, and then I'm moving over to guitar. As we do a bit of a rejig, and same goes to the album. So
we're really happy as well with obviously I know before you spoke about in the bio that so I'm signed to a Fender, and I was initially on Squire, and then I graduated to being a full Fender endorsee maybe at the end or mid of last year, and I got my hands on a Strat, and that's an A grade deal. So I was pretty pumped about that too. So
how many guitars do you have?
Oh, I don't know
About 8,
how many do you see in the house?
I reckon there's 5, 6. Yeah, I'd say about 7, 8.
I'd say maybe 8. Yeah. I play rhythm guitar, and I like write a lot of things on my acoustic guitar, so I reckon I've got maybe 2 acoustic.
Oh, you can go to acoustics as well.
Yeah, so maybe 10. Maybe 10. My dad, I don't even want to know. I don't. I simply don't.
Is he a Fender player? Does he play Fender?
He's actually endorsed by Jackson. So yeah, it's under Fender. He loves his Jacksons, so he chooses to play them a lot.
Yep.
I should be getting paid by Fender because I play Fender.
Oh, okay.
I always wear my Fender shirt. So hey, Fender, where's my
that's
money,
the
man?
endorsement. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly right. Yeah.
I should. I had the owner of PRS guitars. You know PRS?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was on the show. He's from Maryland.
Oh, it's cool.
Awesome.
I tried to get him to endorse my
show, but I never heard from him, because I said, I interview all these legends. I could sell a lot of guitars for you.
Yeah,
your shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
They're the 3rd biggest electric guitar maker in the world.
Yeah.
PRS guitars. Yeah. Paul Reed Smith. Yeah.
Very cool.
I had a Fender Tele, a 73, and I sold it. And I had some great interviews, not interviews, autographs on there. Incredible, like Johnny Winter and oh my God, some great, Alvin Lee from 10 Years After, Eric Burden from the Animals. I sold it for like $4,000. I paid $300 for the guitar back in '73. Got $4,000.
That's not bad.
There's
Very
a lot
good.
of stories. Just buy guitars.
Better than the stock market.
That's the truth.
Both of you, thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cassidy, the band is great. The album's incredible. 5 stars all the way. I think you're going to hit it big. I really do.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the plan. So hopefully, I mean, the plan is just to have fun and enjoy it and make music. If we get there, then that would be, I think, a really big success for this style of music. And I think that we have the ability to carry the torch in the least, up my software. I can say that it's just, I think it'd be exciting for this generation.
Yeah. I think so too. I mean,
keep your eyes.
It all makes sense. Exactly.
Sorry, what were you saying there? Cut you off there.
No, I think it makes sense. We have a young girl endorsing rock and roll. That's, we need that now. Like I said, all the girls from the past are all older now. We need a new generation to teach the next generation. So
thank you. I intend on doing that, and I know the boys do too. So it's great.
And thank you for what you're doing with the bullying as well, because that's so important.
No, thank you. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah,
thanks for giving us a platform to share our story so far. We can't wait to come back in the future.
Yeah,
sure. It's my pleasure.
Love the people from the Down Under. You guys are great.
Awesome. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.